Hi, this is Russ Benson. I am a Liverpool supporter, and you're listening to Drunkard United Football Show. You all need Jesus.
There's one perfect fit, and sugar, this one is it. We both are so excited because we're reunited. Yeah.
Come on, baby.
And Hiram's over here going like, what kind of weird homoerotic shit have I just walked into with you two?
Should have been there for the last 16 years.
We're to start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Huston.
Sam Huston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Smell the Malort. Looks great in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Drunkard United! Drunkard United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I'm your host, Sam Huston, and across the way from me, the man is fucking back, Samuel Graham. Sammy, how you doing?
Doing very well, thank you very much.
I know
Needed a
it's
nap.
three common American
There's
schmucks
still
tonight,
three of you.
but tonight he's back. It's
know.
got to go back to the original line.
But Hiram's still here.
A fireball all over my wedding ring.
I felt it was. I felt it was only fitting, especially because you two just played each other. And Sam, I think you should be in the same room as your soon-to-be heir apparent. Young hot freshness in the house. Hiram, how you doing, good sir?
Yeet.
And as always, on the ones and twos, not trusting my instincts or judgments at all,
Never.
and constantly judging me.
Uh-huh.
My wife?
My lovely. That would be on sound check. Sam, if somebody were to find sound check, how would they go about doing it?
It's very simple, actually. Patreon.com/DU Football Show. Just sign up to that one beautiful $5 tier. I have missed so much being a whore, so pay me.
I'm just glad you don't sound check the show and didn't hear all the Graham impressions
I
I did.
heard a fair amount of them, actually.
And of course, producer Mel, my lovely bride. How are you?
Hello. I am fantastic. New hair, new Mel.
Oh, I did just changed everything,
Yeah.
huh?
New hair
Yeah.
TikTok Mel.
Yeah, TikTok Mel, you know me. I'm just,
New hair, same production mistakes. We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out wherever you get your podcasts. And of course, streaming live every single Monday, wherever you like to watch streaming services. It's everywhere. Should you want to chat with us, there's many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
It is at JK. What's the word again? It's at DU Football Show on all the social medias and dufoootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email.
Very good. See?
Christian is in the chat. She goes, the talent. We missed you, Graham.
Thanks, guy. Glad to know you're still with us.
Yeah, I mean, set that pacemaker right. It might be going a little fast right now. Fluttering, seeing the pone back in the building.
Mine will be after this fireball keg. I might need to borrow his batteries or something. This could not go well, potentially.
Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we've got to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Mr. Graham, we've already taken a shot, but I think it's very important you go ahead and tell everybody about it. What are you drinking?
Yeah, sure. I also thought we were going to do a real whiskey, but I don't
There will be something. Don't worry. You do your thing first.
You didn't ask me to hand you anything.
Yeah, you're good.
So this is Fireball.
Yeah.
Cinnamon whiskey. It is a Canadian whiskey. Probably the cheapest you can possibly make. And then flavored like Big Red Chewing Gum. And it is fucking delicious because artificial cinnamon is better than regular cinnamon.
Right.
It is 66 proof and somehow legally sold as a 5.25 liter. I'll tell you how if you want to know. And it sounds like you do.
Yeah, go ahead.
There are three pour spouts to this Fireball keg, which makes the inside bladders that feed those pour spouts 3 individual bags. So it is a VAP keg, a value-added package of a keg of 3 separate 1.75 liters, which is a legal size to sell booze.
So you think...
You want to do another shot?
No.
Young hot freshness.
You think...
I'm cool, love me.
You think you're trash? You think you're trash?
Uh-oh.
I am the king of trash.
Uh-oh.
None of you motherfuckers should ever doubt me.
I have a
if
bad
I
feeling.
want to get something, I will find something.
I think I
How
know
much
what's
did you
happening.
spend on that? How much did you spend on that?
$60.
150 United States American dollars has gotten us Jepson's limited edition Malort liqueur, the pumpkin spice
fucking
version.
Pumpkin. Shit.
What the fuck?
Oh.
If daddy wants something, daddy will get something. And that is all there fucking is to it.
So which number on Whiskey Advocates list is this?
Number 9,564,000. And
sniffers,
daddy break
yeah.
out the fucking
The
good
glass,
china.
the
He
good
broke
glass.
out mama's china, the Riedel glasses for this shit, because I want you all to get all the perfect flavors that come from this.
Is there anything perfect that comes from Malort?
Nope.
Ah, fuck me. Welcome back, Graham.
Right? No shit. I mean, it smells like if you threw up in the fall.
Here we go. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to give myself a little more. I'm feeling
Looks like we're all going to
ultimate
borrow
trashy.
Christian's batteries.
festive. Need to see that bottle. There you go.
Oh
Gotta
my
get the pumpkin sticker
god.
too.
So
Yeah,
this is the company that represents Malort. They do a tasting room and bar, and this was their seasonal flavor that they did.
I saw the internet. And I was like, there's no fucking way we can get one of these. Thank God.
It smells like if Malort fucked a pumpkin spice
That's what I'm
candle.
saying. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying. You
Mel
know,
already took a sip.
you know what this
Oh,
You know what
no.
this smells like? Mm-hmm. Me in my 20s.
All right, kids, here we
If
go.
a piece of shit liqueur fucked something that drinks pumpkin spice. That was me in my 20s. Oh. No, it's actually not that bad.
It's not that terrible. I mean, it's still the puke flavor's still there on the back end.
There it is.
There she is. There's what we know.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I just like Hiram's. I'm just sitting there, just like, why?
And
Why?
I wasn't talking
Why?
to you.
I'm not bitches!
doing Dave Chappelle fucking
Bitch, I'm not Charlie Murphy!
Darkness Brothers.
Oh, brilliant.
Black magic motherfuckers should have never gave you money.
Who's going to sue us first?
What kind of person stomps on another man's couch? So I was stomping on the couch.
Rick motherfucking James, that's who.
I'm Rick James, bitch. You
Fuck your
couch.
What did the 5 fingers say to the face?
Oh, that what the Malort studio.
This does taste a lot like Rick James smacking you in the face with the Unity ring.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate myself.
This somehow I think tastes worst.
Oh, it absolutely is worse.
Oh,
I think the pumpkin spice covers
It
up
smells-
the earwax.
it doesn't smell that bad.
Any hint of
No,
pumpkin at all.
I feel like the bitterness is even stronger with it.
I actually get a ton of clove and nutmeg in this, and not too much cinnamon.
Yeah,
I get a
same.
ton of clove and nutmeg, but it's Malort. It's absolutely it's Malort.
Uncultured swine.
I'll take it. This shit is terrible.
All right, fuckers, and you all have to finish it before the show is over. Well, some of you already have. I mean, I might have a second round
it.
just cause. There you go. That a boy. That a boy.
Would you like some Fireball to wash it down?
Yes, actually, I would.
Please, yes, me too. Me too.
Here's his fireball glass.
Here's my fireball glass.
Oh, the high new made it worse.
Let's get the old keg back up here.
There you are, my friends.
Oh,
Pumpkin spiced Malort.
it did not help with that high noon. It made it worse.
Again,
There you go.
to all of you, I say, never, ever, ever doubt my ability to be able to pull something off.
Thank you, Big Red.
If I want it, I get it.
Melissa?
One more time for the camera. There you have it.
That fireball really did help a lot.
Now I've got a bevy of friends who want to try it.
I never thought I would go. Thank God for Fireball. When is the whiskey event?
November the 18th. I put the.
You have to save it for that.
I'll definitely save it for some of that. And
Someone,
Mr.
whoever
Graham,
doesn't bring food or the last person arrives or something, they get the biggest shot.
Mr. Graham, what else do I always need to do?
Please remember to drink responsibly.
Which is impossible to do when you are drinking either one of the two things we started drinking.
Despite a keg of Fireball, drink responsibly.
Yeah. I just said you have to drink the whole cake. Although we will.
We start with a couple of derbies. The Merseyside certainly didn't disappoint. And there was a London derby that was a tale of two halves. Liverpool 2, Everton 0, Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. Really, the talking point of this is Ashley Young gets sent off before the first half even comes to an end.
I was going to say that 10 of Everton's players played well.
Yeah. They played exceptionally
played like
well.
a 38-year-old right back.
There's
Eaten alive by Doku.
Oh my gosh.
Or not Doku,
Diaz. Yeah.
Because that happened to the other 38-year-old.
There is absolutely no denying it. The first yellow was a yellow, and the second yellow was definitely a yellow.
Yes.
The thing I think we all look at and go is, why the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
Like, all the commentators, everybody was just like, why didn't you just let Diaz go around you and cross? Like,
Well, honestly, of all of the red cards this week, because there were a fair few, I think that was the most obvious.
Yeah.
Second yellow of the bunch that got called.
Let alone the first half.
Yeah, no shit. we will get on to that, and we will get on to the direct examples later on in the show about that one too.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I tell you what, Everton frustrated Liverpool. Liverpool only had one shot on target at the end of the first half, and only had one other shot on target until the fucking penalty. Like, Dyche changed up the lineup. He put 10 behind the ball, and the team showed hustle and tenacity and work rate, and they looked as good as you can look in that situation. You're a 10-man side at Anfield against Liverpool. Like,
I mean,
they played about as well as you fucking could.
So honestly, it's when it happened, the only person in the ground it seemed that was happy about it happening was Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
Right? Even though I'm sure he gave a bollocking to Ashley Young at halftime and again at full time. But that is the stuff that the proper football mans are made from, right?
Yeah,
That's
right.
back against the wall, away from home, very hostile environment, in your derby, 10 men, da-da-da-da, right? I mean, I don't know if y'all noticed it or not, but his nipples were harder than when he was outside in the cold with no shirt on. Okay? When that happened.
Not going to deny that.
And for once, I didn't see him all dry mouth
Yeah.
trying to figure out how to not have his lips fall off because he was salivating that much at the idea of drawing Liverpool 0-0 with 10 men at Anfield.
And honestly, the midfield of Everton showed a lot of guile, a lot of hustle.
Yep.
You know, Onana
Onana was
himself
excellent.
a
Yeah.
fucking match.
I've
Good
seen-
Lord.
That dude is counting down the days on a calendar like an inmate. Cannot wait till I get sold. One more day less till the transfer window opens. Get me the fuck out of here.
I doubt he'll get sold in January, but I figure he goes in the summer.
Oh,
and
in the summer. I
and he
meant the summer. I didn't
and
even
he
mean
goes
January.
to a Big
but
Six
yeah.
side. It's what's going to happen, and I don't begrudge the kid that.
Oh no,
at
he'll
all.
go to Chelsea. It's on the wall, man. He'll go to Chelsea, and then he'll be farmed out to like Vitesse in Holland or something.
It'll be great.
Because
It'll
they
be
like to
great
ruin
getting that-
people there.
It'll be great getting that 100 million. Thanks, Uncle Todd.
Yeah, exactly. No shit.
Obviously, the breakthrough finally happens when there's a handball. We're going to talk about this because we're going to talk about your game as well. By the way the rule is written, what the rule is now in footy, or at least in the Premier League, that is undisputable. It's a handball. You know, Michael Keane, the arm was out. It's a handball. Did that at all feel like an intentional handball to you?
Well, of
one
course,
bit?
it's not intentional, but that's not necessarily the point. The natural position thing.
Yeah.
which we all know is kind of it is a natural position to be running and extend your arms.
Well, running, extend your arms, and also he's lunging towards the ball with his front leg. It's not like you lunge towards the ball with front leg like this.
And your arms back, right? No, I know.
It's like an arm's going to be out.
But that is called on a very regular basis.
Yeah, it is. It's a handball. It's a handball.
So my gripe with, because we're going to compare them with Saliba's, is the other, he's closer to Mudrik's head. They're both off the ground, and they both make the exact same motion with their hands because every footballer that's ever headed a ball ever in the history of the world does this. And they're less than this far apart where me and you are now. Right,
Keane you would also could debate very easily that Keane was within a foot of his guy too.
But what I'm saying is this is called every weekend. This isn't.
I think Saliba's arm was extended.
It was like this.
I disagree. I think his arm was extended.
It was definitely like, well, yeah, we'll get more into it.
I don't think Saliba was like, he didn't, because no one ever does this. He's not Buzz Lightyear.
Here's my greater point for all of this. Unfortunately, both, by the way this rule is written, is a handball. I can say this rule is written really badly, and
it is absolutely written very badly
from the desk after each one of those matches of both Phil Neville and Tim Howard both going, the handball rule sucks. Well, the handball rule sucks.
I couldn't hear Phil Neville. I had to turn my TV up.
Yeah, it's true. He does talk a little quiet. Yeah, but it just they both of them were like,
please give me my job back.
Both of them said the handball rule sucks. The commentators in each one of the matches were like, the handball rule sucks.
Yeah.
Little shout out to our boy Ryan with the ATP. He actually read out the rule, and I can't remember everything exactly, but essentially it says, if the arm is out in any extended way, it is a handball. And then the next sentence is a caveat, if the referee doesn't deem it so. Okay, so it's a handball, but essentially what that says is, it's a handball unless the referee doesn't want it to be a handball. Mm-hmm. That's not a well-written rule.
No.
Because then that says you can easily take interpretation and go, well, it's because it was this team versus this team, or it was this game could have decided a championship, so I didn't bother calling that handball.
You know what? All I know is I want to replay.
Okay, let me go ahead and jump to that right now. Did you hear the post presser?
From your game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone asked Jurgen, because Jurgen from the Tottenham thing had said, you know what, teams deserve a replay because of missed calls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A journalist looked him right in the face and said, so a lot of people thought Konate shot probably should have been sent off and that Everton was hard done. So, by that rationale, does Everton deserve a replay, Jurgen?
Oh, yeah.
And he went, are you seriously asking me that question?
Well, we
are, fucker, because you fucking said that 2 weeks ago.
You are the poster boy of replays at this point.
Well, yeah, no shit. What actually happens here is now he's put in a position which he hates being in, Jurgen, because he has to defend the VAR making bad calls that favor him.
Right.
Now he's put in a position, well, they got that wrong. Mm-hmm. Or not defending him, but throwing them under the bus. Because he calls it out and all that shit when it goes against them, and the replay, it's so over the top ridiculous that now he has to acknowledge when he's the recipient of a VAR fuck up, in a good way. You know what I'm saying?
No, it makes sense.
Or else he's just so blatantly obvious and fucking.
Well, yeah, he obviously is.
Yeah, but it's stupid.
That's what it really is. Also, note, Dyche got a yellow card in this game. Who still does not have a yellow card from the bench this entire season? Jurgen Klopp. How?
Again, I'll ask.
How?
Are we even surprised about this, though?
I'm not.
Seriously. Klopp always gets away with this petty shit all the time from the replays, from running off.
He did run out in the middle of the center fucking circle after they scored a goal on us to win 1-0 and got nothing for it.
Hiram,
and
2 seasons ago.
And Nuno Espirito Santo.
He still gets away with that shit.
Nuno Espirito Santo, 3 days later, got a ban for running out of the box down the sideline.
But he deserved it because he took a job at Spurs. So we all agree Konate should have been sent off Yeah. I mean, that's as blatant of a
exactly-
second
it's-
yellow as you can get.
It's exactly what I was going to get to. That was going to be the next thing.
If you're trying to make an argument for the referee here, which at this point, I don't know who would be trying to do that. Tsimikas is behind Konate in terms of being closer to the end line, but he's like 20 yards wide, almost to the touchline. So he's not involved in the play and can no way, in my opinion, cover for Konate at all. So it's
gone.
It's completely last defender stuff, number one. Mm-hmm. So it could have been a straight red.
Yeah.
You can argue.
Yeah.
Now, people
Either
might
way,
say
no
it was,
matter where other defenders are,
right?
a professional foul is a yellow card nowadays.
Yeah, it is.
Period. And I don't care. Yes, it would have been soft.
Yeah, it was very soft.
But
'cause
that's
Beto-
what a professional foul
Beto
is just doing enough
Yeah.
to stop that counterattack.
Beto
And that
felt the
should-
hand around his belly, and he went right down. He went down very softly. It was. It
Which
would
let's
have been-
remember, it's the same thing Salah does week in, week out.
It would have been one of the softest yellow cards ever. But it was 1,000% a second yellow card. And then Klopp immediately pulls him off, and you're just like, of course they got away with it. Of course they
Well,
fucking
that was
did.
Klopp being nice, though. That was Klopp saying, Sean, you're right. He should be sent off. So I'll replace him. I'll take him off the field. I'm not even going to put another player on. But he'll walk right down the tunnel.
Yeah, he's
Promise.
done.
His race is run.
The funny part too is also for Ashley Young in the beginning of the match as well. Both of his yellow cards deserved, but we were clearly attacking down the right with Jack Harrison, and Tsimikas had 5 cynical tackles.
There was I remember seeing that like a few right in a row. Yeah,
We were just like,
should have been carded by that
what
point.
point does he not like? Because it's clear that's the route Everton wants to go, and it's clear he's getting beat, so he's fouling him because he's getting beat. And at some point, no matter how soft the fouls are, you do enough of them as a referee, you're like, all right, man, fucker, you got to defend them. You can't, like, here's the card. Like, you have to defend the man.
Persistence is a reason for a yellow card.
Right, precisely. And it was just,
You've seen referees. How many times have you seen a referee point to like 3 different spots on the field?
Yeah.
Even if it's a soft foul, they'll be like, 1, 2, 3, 4, yellow.
Yellow.
Because you're persistently just doing
Right.
that.
You're just
it
hacking
happens all the
people.
time to City players.
okay, yeah, oh yeah, you see that because they do a lot of hacking in the middle of the field, like soft hacks that they tend to get away with. Now, final goal, Mo Salah gets the brace. It was just what it was. It was the 95th minute. The Everton was trying to push to get an equalizer, which credit him for fucking trying to do, right? It's for me, let me go ahead and pour my second shot of Malort.
I want another pumpkin spice.
Do my regular Malort. I'm gonna do something fancy here. It's the fucking Derby. It is what it is.
We might have to replace these with Sheffield United glasses.
Yeah. We rarely win at Anfield, except for that one time. I miss you, Don Carlo.
What, in 23
Sweet
years?
Prince. Once in 25 years.
Yeah.
Once in 25
I thought
years.
it was 23 years since it's been done. Oh, maybe that was just
no,
the league.
Don Carlo.
Was that in a cup?
No, that was league. That was
Really?
that was him. The 2-1 with no fans in the stadium.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, the
There's no
2-1.
fans there. Was it even Anfield, though? I say green screen.
All right.
Like
well,
hashtag moon landing, flat earth. That didn't even happen.
Co-pikes are still gobshites. I'm going to chase it with pumpkin spice.
You know what? To help you out real quick, you remember that time a bird shit in Ashley Young's mouth on the field? Yeah. Google it. It's a thing.
Oh, God.
YouTube it. So he's like yelling at one of his teammates. He was playing for Villa at the time, I think. He was like yelling at one of his teammates, like, and then a bird, like you see something right in his mouth. Dare I say those 2 tackles were him taking a shit in his own mouth.
It was not a bird.
All right.
Dare I say that those 2 fouls were him taking a shit in his own mouth.
Heard. Yeah, don't disagree.
Idiot.
Moving on. Chelsea and the Bridge in that start of that match, it felt like the Bridge again. And it felt like Chelsea was up and ready for the match.
It felt like Noah's Ark. It was raining so goddamn much.
And frankly, that first half, Chelsea frustrated the shit out of Arsenal. They just couldn't seem to get into the match.
Yeah. Arteta, I think, actually summed it up pretty well when he said that there was a lot of meaningless possession. Like, we didn't control the ball to try to threaten them at all.
By the way, the pumpkin spice did not help the chase shot of Malort. I just got a lot of puke in my mouth right now.
Ooh, I know what would. Fireball.
There you go. Fireball.
But I think he's absolutely right. We didn't press the issue. We didn't try to go forward at all. And Chelsea were up for it.
Yeah.
They are a side with a lot to prove. They've played well in the last few games. It helps that they've been poor enough this season that most of their players were not included in their national squads. So they've had 2 unadulterated weeks to work under Poch, which they haven't had since he came in, really.
No, that's true.
So I think that we were the unlucky recipients of we were the first test team, if that makes sense.
Now it tastes like
Show them-
fireball and puke in my mouth.
Show them what you can do now. Show them how we're clicking.
Right.
And Arsenal were caught on the back foot.
Yeah.
And the conditions did not help.
No.
There was sloppy play on both sides.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely fucking pissing it down with rain. That was not like, I love playing in the rain. That would not have been fun. That would have sucked.
Hiram, your thoughts on the start of the match for you in the first half for Chelsea?
Honestly, I'm very happy to see that we were at, like you said, it felt like Chelsea back at the bridge again. Like, we felt like we're back at our own pace and trying to get back to like that same prime where we're like a top 4 team, even though we're still like mid-table right now or whatever. But this is like the start to say like we pretty much dominated possession, like what, 80 minutes of the entire game pretty much until just Trossard made that final goal, that equalizer essentially. I really think that this is showing good promise, especially with Cole Palmer. Me personally, I think he was probably our best player that game.
I want to know what the spat was with Raheem Sterling and Cole Palmer over the...
It was
Because
really...
obviously most teams have a hierarchy of who's supposed to take pens.
Right.
Right? And Cole Palmer went and got the ball like that's supposed to be him. And Raheem Sterling came up and was like, give me the fucking ball. And he was like, go fuck yourself, old man.
And I actually heard about this. Like, it was actually like, yeah, it was between Sterling and Palmer, even though like Palmer, of course, is like the younger person, fresh face and everything. But Sterling is someone to prove himself at the same time. But at the thinking about it, Palmer is more clinical from the spot than Sterling is, even though he hasn't had as much opportunities for sure. But also, like, even Enzo came in and was like, no, Palmer's the guy to take this spot. Like, let him step in and fill in. And that's basically what he did. He put in a good position for us to get that 1-0 goal.
Yeah.
Also, by the way,
Yeah.
Mudryk didn't mean that.
Oh well, that's what
of
I'm
course
about.
not.
That's what I'm about to get to too. Is
So we win 2-1 is what
so-
you're saying.
so-
I really want to fucking replay.
Well, if it is 1-1, let's be real.
with the Mudryk goal. Sam, do you think now Arteta has a decision to make? Because in the City match, Raya made some big mistakes that fortunately didn't cost him. And this goal, the Mudryk goal, was absolutely 1,000% because Raya was out of position.
I was in the wrong position.
He was in the wrong. Do you think that he goes
He was in
to
the wrong position multiple fucking times in that game.
Right, because let's look at this. Because Ramsdale didn't do anything wrong
Right.
to lose the job.
Now, you would have been proud of me because I was at the Abbey with our boy Rob celebrating his birthday. And the bar was quiet because David Raya fucked up.
Yeah.
And there was a time when a through ball was played. He started to come out, could have easily gotten to the ball, didn't, and then got lucky the Chelsea player dwelled on it and was able to pounce on it while the ball was at his feet. Do you remember this?
There was multiple opportunities for that.
And I was the only person in the bar that was like, fucking go to it. Like, that's your fault.
Right.
Right? And then everybody's clapping the save. I'm like, don't clap that. He fucked up.
Right.
That he got lucky.
Do you just?
I want Ramsdale back.
I tend
either
to
send-
agree.
if you're trying to send a message to Ramsdale, fair enough. He didn't have a clean sheet the first couple games, and he was the goalkeeper when we drew to Fulham, I believe, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he didn't make mistakes that
Well, right.
led to it. You
But
know.
fine, you want to bring in the guy you brought in the summer, somebody you think whose distribution is just that much better or whatever that makes you want him instead of Ramsdale. Fine, do that. But now you've also spoken about wanting to change the goalkeeper on the 68th minute potentially if that's going to help the team or whatever. Like, you're not afraid to do that and all this kind of weird shit that no one ever does.
Okay, well
or
then
says.
why didn't you do
Well,
it in
then-
this match?
Then you know what? Next match, you should be dropping David Raya for the mistakes he's made in the previous two and giving Aaron Ramsdale to start again. And sending the message to Raya, like, if you want to be the number one, stop fucking up. And if Aaron Ramsdale keeps a clean sheet and goes well, he should play the next game.
I'll be honest. I think if Ramsdale didn't have like his whole family situation with like him having a baby and everything, he would have played this game. That's the only reason.
I wish, yeah, but he wasn't even in the squad for this game. And what Hiram's alluding to there is he had his wife gave birth.
Right.
I don't know if it was on the Friday night or the Saturday morning, but they had just recently had the baby, and he was granted leave to stay with them.
But like I said, like even if that wasn't the situation, I definitely think he would have been chosen for this match because, like you said, like Ryan definitely has made the mistakes, but he also is more. He's not as much of a shot blocker as Ramsdale is. Ramsdale definitely is a good distributor, but he's not
Raya's better with his feet.
Yeah,
Raya's better with his feet.
That's the only
sure.
he has over Ramsdale. Ramsdale is probably more of a better all-around goalkeeper than Raya.
And as we've learned with United, being good with your feet doesn't mean you can stop a fucking shot.
Well, yeah, but and then that's true. And also, besides that, and we're going to come on to it soon, there was more than one occasion in the last couple of games, the Champions League game included, where David Raya looked like Neto, what he did down at Bournemouth and Wolves when he gave the fucking game away.
Right, precisely.
So, I mean, it's only a matter of time before he kicks the ball into somebody and ends up in the back of our own net.
So,
and we get laughed at like Ben Foster.
I want to finish up in a second with some of what happened for the end of the match and the comeback from Arsenal. But obviously, Champions League, there's kind of a rotation. There's a way that a manager will do things with their Champions League squad versus their league squad. Your next league match, if Ramsdale is not in the net, is that a message that just Arteta's not gonna get in? You're not gonna get in. Do you think that's the message that's sent?
I don't know that that's the message because he did also say something very strange, Arteta, in much of the way you would imagine Pep saying it, which is funny. And I'll get on to in just a second. But he's saying the right things in terms of I love him. He's a valuable member of this team. He's this, that, the other. He's a very good goalkeeper. He's fantastic. He was excellent last season. This, that, the other. We still trust him. And there is supposed to be a genuine competition for places. That's fine. I don't mind that they signed David Raya. What I mind is he's now fucked up 4 or 5 times in multiple consecutive games.
He shouldn't be starting.
He should not be starting now. There should be a message sent, much like if Jorginho went and did something stupid, which he did do against who's the game where he got the ball taken off of Fulham.
Yeah.
He didn't play the next game.
Right.
When he dwelled on the ball and whoever pounced on it and they went down and scored.
Yeah.
And that was their 2-1 goal.
Right.
When they started their comeback. He didn't play the next game. I don't think he played the game after.
You're right.
And if he did, he got subbed on late on. Right? So why is that same principle not being applied to the goalkeeper in the same way that you want competition for places in every position on the field? Yeah. If Arsenal went and grabbed a center forward to battle Gabriel Jesus and Kedia, nobody would have batted an eye. If they went and grabbed a right winger to battle Saka for that position, nobody would have batted an eye.
No, not one bit.
They wouldn't have questioned anything. Right? So going and getting Raya for me is not a problem. That's completely fine. You want that competition. But you have to now send the message that it is a fucking competition.
Right. Precisely. That's precisely what you have to do.
And if you don't send that message, if you don't drop Raya for the last game, you risk the fans turning on you, and you risk Ramsdale himself turning on you, not being as focused anyway. So when you do need him, or when you do want him,
he fucks off because he isn't, because his head's not there. Now, the one thing we have to credit Arteta for, he used his bench fucking perfectly, and they all had an impact on how the game turned for you. Was the subs he put in.
The second half was much more open. Both sides had chances. I think Arsenal controlled a little bit more of the ball. But much like in the first half, a lot of that was in the middle third. So it wasn't really great possession. It was just kind of useless possession. But we did probe and prod a bit more than we did in the first half. And Chelsea seemed to want to protect what they had, which allowed us the ability to get into those spaces. Now, Robert Sanchez fucked up.
Yep.
100%.
Great hit by
great strike by Declan Rice.
That was beautiful.
But if you're Robert Sanchez, Declan Rice should never be in that position in the first place because you should have collected the ball or distributed the ball properly. I forget exactly how it happened, but you shouldn't have.
I think it's a 2-pronged situation with that, though. I think Right, not right. Sanchez definitely didn't deliver it properly, but also Enzo could at least make that effort to, of course, make that stop to prevent Declan to make that shot at all.
That's fair.
Because like it looked like it was like maybe 2 feet away from it. If you take like
Well,
an
yeah,
extra
but
step.
Enzo, look, I mean, Declan Rice is like 6'8".
Well, no, Declan
Enzo's
was like 5
5'2".
feet away from him though too. But even still, like take like an extra step and you can at least make an attempt to stop that. Only step in front of him.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
I do feel like not just
Say that's
you
one
know,
stride for Declan Rice. For
obviously
Enzo,
not
16,
just the
with his
sub
wee
with
little legs.
Trossard and then Nketiah, who almost scored a winner, but Kai
Fucking
Havertz.
pissed me off.
I think you found a job for Havertz. I think Arteta's finally figured out what to do with him. He's very impactful off the bench.
Yep.
And he just adds a little bit of something different to it. It worked.
I think that lineup that we started with minus Partey and Jorginho,
Right. Yeah, you'd rather have Partey.
that is our strongest possible lineup.
Right.
Agreed.
And
But-
possibly Raya Ramsdale, depending on who's on form that day.
Yeah, but
I
you've
would say
got a
Ramsdale over.
deep,
So would I personally.
you have
But
a deep as hell bench though, which was really good to see.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And that bench is hungry to produce, which
But
is
I-
even better.
I also think that part of it was a lot of our guys hadn't played together in 2 weeks. A lot of our guys are tired from the international break. A lot of our guys are, we just looked like not completely at the races in that first half, and that's worrisome. We've started games a lot slower than we did last season,
Right.
this season. Now, we've come good in the final 15 minutes, but we need to start getting on the front foot in games like we did last year and starting quickly and then figuring out how to control them from there.
Yeah.
It's been a little bit of a different situation this season, which, makes more flutters in the old ticker. I don't particularly care for it.
Two clubs fighting for Europe had commanding victories at home. Newcastle 4, Palace 0, Aston Villa 4, West Ham 1. Palace never got out of the fucking locker room in this one, did they?
Well, I mean, you say that, but they had 17 shots. Now only 3 of them are on target. It's just Palace being Palace, right? I mean, goals have always been a problem. I'm going to say essentially the exact same line when we get to Fulham. You're always going to wonder where the goals come from.
Right.
Well, who's going to do the scorings?
Yeah.
And here it was fucking nobody, because Jacob Murphy, and it equally on the flip side, right? The other side of that coin is really what I was trying to say, is Newcastle have become over the last 2 seasons extremely ruthless, even to the point where, like Mudryk, Jacob Murphy had no idea what he was doing there and somehow scored in the 4th minute.
Yep.
Did not mean to do that.
Yep.
He's about as shocked as everyone else was.
Exactly.
So all that went in.
He's the most surprised dude in the whole ground.
Here's something. I'm going to jump right next to my next thought, but and it kind of plays into what you were already talking about. Newcastle is spreading the wealth with goals.
Oh, yeah.
And it is like every fucking match.
Oh, yeah.
That is troublesome for teams when there's 7 guys who can put the ball in the back of the fucking net and you don't know which one it's going to be.
You know what's scary for the rest of the league, honestly, is think back to the battle days of United and Arsenal, right? The late 90s, early 2000s. Patrick Vieira would chip in with like 12 goals.
Yeah.
Robert Perez would have 9 to 12 goals.
The
Freddie
holding,
Ljungberg would have
the
9
holding
to 12 goals.
midfielder
Yeah.
would have 12 goals.
That's what I'm saying. And but now they did have, 20, 25 and Thierry Henry every season, but the same way. You had Paul Scholes, you had Roy Keane that were chipping in with goals every season. You had Ryan Giggs, you had David Beckham, obviously. But then they would always have Van Nistelrooy or Dwight York or Teddy Sheringham or whoever up front through those years. Ole off the bench, when he wasn't teaching gym class. And all of them, they'd have their main striker would have 20, Rooney or whoever, but they would always have these supplemental 10-goal seasons from everybody around them.
Yeah.
This is what scares me about this Newcastle team, because when Isak gets physically up to speed with the Premier League, or if they can wrap him in enough bubble wrap between each game and Callum Wilson, you're going to have a 20-goal scorer in one of the 2 of them.
Right. Oh, God,
And then you still got Joe Willock to come back. He chipped in with, what was it, 8 and 6 games or something,
Something like that,
at the end of that 2 seasons ago.
Anthony Gordon's probably putting 10 goals in this season.
That's right, exactly. And Miggy Almiron last season and this season, they've got goals out of him. So they're gonna be fucking
getting goals out of their midfielders, man. Longstaff is scoring goals. Like they are.
I didn't expect to see Longstaff to be going off like that.
I know,
And,
right?
Well, and I would credit a lot of that to the fact that, you know, it's, you equate this to whenever you look at a team and when they made that turn, it's they bought that guy they probably spent a little too much on that might have been a little too old. They did that with Kieran Trippier, right? But he's paying fucking dividends, right?
Oh, yeah.
The one I would equate it to, Sam, in the baseball world, close to your heart being a Nationals fan, is when the Nationals got Jason Worth.
Yeah.
They spent way too much money on him, but it was the piece that got the rest of the pieces to show up, and then suddenly they become good, and that's it. It's like, you got this guy, Kieran Trippier, who's fucking next to Ward Prowse, is a fucking set piece genius. Like, his corner kicks are always going to be dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that is... If there is a corner kick, there's a damn good chance that shot's going to be on target. An even better chance that ball's going in the back of the fucking net. And they've got enough big, tall guys that can do it. Now, fucking Fabian Schär can take a shot from fucking 25 yards out and put it in
He's
the
got
back
a
of the net.
rifle of a right
That
foot.
scared me when he did in the Champions League too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
big time.
And for me, is it Newcastle's starting to figure this shit out.
Yeah,
And they're figuring out the Champions League, too.
they beat PSG 4-0.
And they're in the
Quarter
group.
one.
And they're in the quote group of fucking death, and they tied fucking Milan. Like,
Yeah.
they beat
Now-
they beat City in the fucking League Cup. Could Newcastle be fucking getting their
Now-
shit together?
You know what? The draw against Milan is actually an opportunity drop because Milan didn't have their best goalkeeper, Olivier Giroud, in. Best
I miss
save
you.
percentage in all of Europe, by the way, just so you know.
I miss you, Olivier.
When
So do I.
just to let you know, just to
one
let you
thing
know,
we gotta
Hiram, when
agree
we were at the bridge for Everton and Chelsea, two things together, and the first one was because
Gylfi Sigurdsson's a nonce.
well, yeah.
And
Well,
the
the
other
first-
one was Olivier Giroud, sexy as fuck.
Well, no, the
He's
first
handsome
one.
as fuck,
Well,
man.
the first one was because the first half it was all down in our end. Was I looked at Graham and I went, "Yeah, Andres Gomez is that fucking sexy," and he went, "Yeah, he is." And then in the second half, Olivier Giroud was down, and he's like, "God damn, Olivier Giroud's really sexy." I went, "Yeah, he is."
That's one handsome motherfucker.
Yeah, both of them. Andres Gomez too. I forgot about him. Where'd he end up?
He's still with our club.
was gonna say, he's still hurt.
We're just stroking a check for fucking $75,000 a week, just fucking writing that check.
No wonder that wall got put up in front of that chair.
Wonder why we had to get money from 777 to pay the fucking bills. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, this is Newcastle supporters should be feeling pretty fucking good. This team is,
Definitely.
you know, they had the big win against Villa at the start, but then they were kind of slow out of the gate. But this team gonna be all right.
I don't remember that.
You know, you know who Sean Longstaff reminds me of? It's Scott McTominay. It's like if you ordered Scott McTominay off of Wish.com, but then I remembered Scott McTominay, the McTerminator, is Scottish. So it's just like you ordered a standard regular knockoff.
Yeah.
All right, keeping it rolling. Villa, big shout out to every.
Palace for shit, by the way.
They
Probably should mention them at some point.
I
Sorry,
said
Brad.
they never got out of the
Hi, Brad.
dressing.
Hi, Brad. I'm back.
They never got out of the dressing room. I felt that was about all Palace deserved for the conversation this week.
I just want to make sure I called Brad out.
Big shout out to everybody at the Abbey in Fells Point, the host bar for the Baltimore Hammers.
Yeah. And Roger from Kansas City. Great time hanging out with him.
Came in, and Scotty, who's part of the Drunkard United FC group.
God,
and
I don't think I've
was-
met Scotty in person before, have I?
was fantastic. Everybody
know?
was. Yes, Scotty. No.
Have you ever seen Euro?
Yes, I know.
Not
Scotty
Eurotrip.
doesn't. Scotty, it was
What's-
Euro
it
trip.
was Euro
Yeah,
trip.
Scotty
Ever seen
doesn't
Euro
know.
trip? Scotty doesn't know. Scotty
No,
doesn't
West
know.
Ham,
I'll
West
think of
Ham
him.
Scotty.
Matt Damon sings the song. It's pretty
West
fabulous.
Ham Scotty, as soon as we walked in the door, walked over and greeted us and was like, "Hey, welcome." Bartender came over, and because
Nice.
I wore my black McGinn jersey, and Jay from Baltimore wore his green, because we were both like, "Yeah, we don't want to show up in colors."
same. Sure.
But you know, the bartender came over to us. He goes, "You guys could have worn your colors." And Jay and I were like, "Yeah, but we're good."
Jordan as well was fantastic.
He's a good dude.
I'm forgetting the name of the brewery he works for, but you've had their Stacy's mom. The
Carly might be watching.
yes, the IPA. Stacy's mom. He works with
brewery.
them.
Okay.
In Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's going to get us.
Evil Twin?
Evil Twin, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's going to get us a few things as well.
Oh, I told him we do beer reviews and we wanted to pull him in, and he was like, fucking great.
Finally, this job's starting to pay off.
Minus I'm just looking at the Patreon money going for the Fireball keg and the Malort.
I got to put on a receipt for that, don't I?
Patreon.com/GU Football Show.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, I was pouring while you were gone, so it's a hard habit to break.
It's all good, no problem.
And all three of the Abbeys have great cultures with their three clubs.
Yes.
You know, obviously the Abbey and Fed Hill with the Gunners is just, that's kind of the gold standard. But tell you what they do in Fells with the West Ham, with the Baltimore Hammers is
There's a
fucking
lot of
solid. And Alan's crew with the
and they can't sing
Mobtown
Forever
Magpies
Bubbles
for Newcastle at the Mount Washington location. All three of them are fucking class acts. They're
And
just
all
great
three
to go
supporters
to.
clubs are class acts as well.
super fucking nice. Coming over, hanging, high-fiving, going, hey, you know what? Good match. Fuck you, like with love. And it was, I had such a good time and I was very grateful. And I'll be honest, I covet that. I hope Lindsay, Cole, and I can build that because
it'd be great.
I look at that and I was so jealous and it made me want to switch. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Here is something I think we have learned so far in watching Villa this season. And
Watkins fucks.
Yes. And
Douglas Luiz fucks.
yes, very very so.
Unai.
Yeah.
Unai,
Yes,
definitely.
he fucks.
Unai fucks with his vest on.
And
Tell you what,
here's,
Unai doesn't fuck the dentist.
all right. Anywho, here's what we have learned in West Ham.
Necessary dig.
West Ham learned the hard way.
Bring it all back down to earth.
Do not get into a track meet with Villa.
Nope.
Especially with the pace of Diaby,
With Diaby,
the pace
especially.
of Watkins. Bailey.
Leon
Matty
Bailey coming off the
Cash.
bench.
Not.
I mean, that's,
and after the first half, after it was 1-0, and then they tied it up 1-1, we're watching this almost pinball kind of really fast-paced match, and you were just like, you just knew, you were like, Villa's gonna start scoring.
Matty
Villa's
Cash
gonna
was
get 'em.
denying payments on defense all night long.
Cash savings. Look, you got the 2 goals from Douglas Luiz, but the one that really needs to be talked about, Watkins' 3rd goal.
That was what a special
But
goal.
with his left foot.
He's a right-footed guy. They play him to go right because you've done this before. We've all done this before. You know, someone's hefty on one foot. You dare him to go the other way. They dared him to go the other way. He touched it over and he ripped it in the near post, which a keeper should be there to cover. And he fucking just annihilated that ball in the back of the fucking net. What a fucking goal!
It was an absolute stunning hit.
But
what it is, it's the why we love this game so much. Sometimes it's so beautifully fucking simple.
Yeah.
Hit it hard.
Yeah.
Just hit it hard.
Hit it hard and accurate.
Just hit it hard.
I will say.
I wouldn't even say it was that accurate. I'd say if it was hit 5 miles an hour less, the goalkeeper has a chance at it.
Yeah, true.
Rob had made a career playing for
just hit it
DU
hard.
off of hitting the ball really
Hit it hard,
fucking
yeah.
hard.
I will give credit. West Ham was it Bowen?
Yeah.
His goal was beautiful. I mean, that shit was gorgeous coming down. And every time Ward-Prowse got up there, I was nervous.
But for it just seemed weird that Moyes allowed his team to get away from the game they play.
Yes.
And they tried to play an open game with it. It was just like, this is not going to go well for you.
What I will take from that second half, though, for both teams is the people that you want scoring scored. Like Jared Bowen got on the score sheet.
Right.
You want him to get goals. The only thing that was missing was a 4-2 loss with Antonio being also on the score sheet.
Right.
But the people that scored, that you want scoring, scored. They all played their part in that second half. Because the first half, honestly, was a little testy here or there. Now, Villa, I think, controlled most of the game.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it was kind of won
There were
and lost.
chances. Yeah, there were chances.
There were a few chances, but it kind of was won and lost in that middle third.
Yeah.
Kind of the same way the Arsenal-Chelsea game was in that respect, where it was a little sloppy both sides here and there. It was a little this, that, the other. One side obviously cared a little bit more than the other one, and then they go into halftime with that lead. Now, Chelsea got lucky on the Mudryk goal. I think Villa struck the post in the first half.
Yes.
So it could have been a very similar story in that respect, where it was 2-0 going in.
Right.
But, I mean, Villa just came out flying. What I do love about Villa, and what also makes me a little bit nervous, to be honest with you, and the top 6 overall might be changing into a top 8, where you can interchange almost anybody.
We talked about that a little bit last week.
Is what Unai Emery said after the game. Douglas Luiz played very well today, but Douglas Luiz got a little bit too relaxed after he scored a goal, which he tends to do, and he needs to stay hungry, and he needs to stay focused, and he needs to do this, that, the other. So the demands and the expectations on the players are so much improved over what Steven Gerrard was doing.
And they want to play for him. Like,
that's what
they enjoy playing for him. They relish him.
But it's obvious. And, you know, anybody that's watched the Beckham documentary so far, just hearing the way that Sir Alex brought David Beckham back down to earth, despite what he was doing on the field, with all of the off-field antics, with not antics, but, you know, this newfound stardom and all this kind of stuff, is, you know, Sir Alex called him back 5 days early from his fucking honeymoon. You know what I mean? Just being a dick.
Right.
Douglas Luiz scores 2 goals here. He's like, yeah, but he didn't track back. You know what I mean? Like, just that's elite level stuff, and that changes the mentality of a club. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, boys, final question here, and we'll move out of this segment is, should the top 4 be worried about Villa and fucking Newcastle right now? Because
1 in 80 odds. I looked it up, y'all. Villa to win the league. 1 in 80.
We already have our
I want
thoughts
to
on.
place that bet, y'all.
We've already had our thoughts on Brighton, and we'll be talking about Brighton in the next segment. But I just really want to focus on these two. Hiram, to you first. Should the top 4 be worried about these two?
Yes.
100%. Yeah, I think so.
More so Newcastle, especially because of the depth that they have for sure. But Villa, of course, with that, especially with that front two and that pace and the amount of just like raw athleticism they have, especially with like Watkins just coming out of nowhere.
Villa's 2 losses were at Anfield and at St. James. So you really like, those are games you try to play for a draw, but if you lost them, it's not the end of the world.
But
how do you play against them when they're in your building is what ultimately matters. But they feel like a team that's going to be in the hunt.
They definitely are. They're definitely a top 5 team for sure. But as far as like that 4th team trying to figure out who was who, like,
I got war paint.
Oh god, I would say like between if it for me that 4th and 5th spot is definitely going to be like a 3-way tie between like Villa, Newcastle, and Liverpool for sure. It's just a matter of like that final stretch, like we talked about
Liverpool,
last
you don't
week.
think Spurs gonna fall off?
No, Spurs is probably going to be as consistent as possible. It's going to be a 3-way tie or a 3-way race for the first place for sure throughout the season. And I mentioned this throughout the entire show.
He's already said that multiple times. Mr. Graham, Villa, Newcastle, does the top 4 need to be worried?
Villa and Newcastle. Newcastle have obviously already breached the top 4 because they're in the Champions League. I think if you're talking about the traditional Big 4, I think this season will be beyond Chelsea because it's just it's starting clicking and it's too late to start clicking.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the old adage, you can't win the league in September, but you can surely lose it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think they've started slow enough that the top 4 might be beyond them. I think they'll be back in the Europa League for sure.
Yeah.
If I were to clock the team that's going to miss out to bring in Brighton from the next segment, I think Brighton will be the ones that miss out because I think they're going to find it difficult to juggle the competitions. I think Villa will be fine in there. I don't think they're going to crack the top 4 this season, but whoever is in 4th going into those final 10 games of the season, I think whoever's in 4th would need to worry about all 3 of those clubs.
Liverpool. We're at 19 points.
It's only 9 games in.
I know, but you're saying we're not going to crack the top 4. Tottenham's sitting at 23. Arsenal's sitting at 21. Liverpool's at 20. We're at 19. And then Newcastle, Brighton, and Munich, Manchester United are at 16 and 15. I absolutely think we're cracking the top 4. I didn't say we're going to be a real contender, but we're absolutely making top 4 at some point this season.
It's gonna be tough with Newcastle up there, though. That's the only issue.
Newcastle, like I said, have already done it. They're there. But whoever's in that 4th spot will absolutely have to worry. But I think it's good especially with the extra competition, losing Tyrone Mings, so a big part of their depth. I think they're going to be. They may just miss out and may be back in the Europa League.
Well, I can tell you this much: we know now that the Ultimate Warrior certainly fucking thinks they're going to do fine.
Can I just point out everybody says I'm shit at betting and she wants to go throw a $5 down on an 80-1 odds?
Yeah, I do.
All right, we're already in an hour, kids. Rounding out the rest of the league, so that happened. Wolverhampton 2, Bournemouth 1, Brentford 3, Burnley 0, Manchester City 2, Brighton 1, Forest 2, Luton 2, Man U 2, Sheffield 1, Tottenham 2, Fulham 0. In the Gary O'Neill Derby, Wolves find themselves victorious. The Cook red card. What the fuck are you thinking?
Idiot. Absolute fucking idiot.
Everyone knows the minute you push at all with your head, it's a fucking red card. It's a fucking red card.
Especially when it's on that Korean guy. Because that Korean guy is surrounded day in, day out by all Portuguese diving guns. And that's what happens when you have a person surrounded by Portuguese diving guns, is that little wee brush along his cheek. He went down like he got shot in the face.
I mean, certainly not as bad as Kane went down against Decore last year with the Spurs and Everton match.
No, that's true. But
You would have
now
thought Kane had died.
I would have gone down like Kane did, because remember what 4 games before that, Decore choked a bitch.
Yeah, he did.
So I wouldn't want to get to that point either.
Decore pulled a Wade and Brady. That was for damn sure.
Yeah, I'm fetal position all day as soon as Decore's coming at me, and I'm hard.
Neto, who has been
Not boner, Mel.
It's called a hard man, Mel. That's what they call the goon of the team.
What? He's the one fucking...
I'm just laughing.
Because he's a deviant and had 2 shots of Fireball.
Let me live. I'm 23. Shut up.
Fucking the warrior over here shaking the turnbuckle right now, losing her fucking mind.
I want to know what's going on when a middle-aged white lady has war paint on and the young black dude's drinking High Noon. What kind of world do we live in?
It's called January 6th, motherfucker.
What kind of world do we live in?
All right, so Neto, who has been pretty much a rock for Bournemouth, and Bournemouth would be even worse place right now without him, makes the major gaffe that ultimately hurts him.
It was so cartoonish the way Billing couldn't collect the ball too, because his big long legs, and it was pitiful.
Yep.
It was absolutely fucking pitiful, and that's ultimately what the game came down to. Wolves dominated, but Bournemouth did enough to, 1, go in front, but 2, keep them at bay, really. Cunha, I think, who hasn't stopped running since the Manchester United game to open the season, finally gets a fucking goal. And it was well deserved, a good strike. And then and as you say, Neto just gifted Wolves the points there.
Yeah. Yep. Dumbass on mute.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Can you tell me what just happened, Hiram?
I'll admit to it. I made a fucking mistake. You're going to edit it all out, but I'll tell everybody I had myself on my fucking cough button and I didn't realize it.
We did say the show was based on professionalism, right?
Right. Weird that this is the one segment I will forget to edit out.
I think that's unfair on us. I think this show's unprofessionalism. Fireball.
I was going to say you need another shot.
This show's unprofessionalism is a direct result of the other things the show was founded upon. We didn't set out to be unprofessional. It's just a byproduct.
I met somebody that that does Premier League stuff on one of my tours, and I said, "Oh, I do a podcast, DU Football Show. You should check it out." He goes, "What does it stand for?" Drunkard United. He just looked at me and went, "Nice."
Moving on to Brentford and Burnley. Brentford finally get a win at home.
Did you also tell him we were the king of transitions?
Daddy drives a tight bus.
Smooth like that's
It's a hard right turn.
Yeah, he does.
Boy, Burnley didn't really have a sniff in this one.
Well, the only key thing that I want to bring up about this was Connor Roberts got a second yellow card for pulling down a man. What we would call a professional foul.
I call it a kanate.
One would think. Just the thought I was putting out there. That's all. Just letting that marinate in the universe. That, you know what? Apparently, when you grab somebody when they're in advanced position, you get a yellow card for that, and typically that's a second yellow card, and that's a sending off. So just a thought there. Is this starting to raise questions for company?
No, I don't think so. Because he is so highly rated. I don't think it is. I think they didn't spend a ton in the summer because of the financial situation they had found themselves in prior to all of this. You know, I don't think they overdid it. They brought in a lot of players, but they weren't very expensive and they weren't very
Very true.
That's the word I'm looking for. Proven, I guess, at this level.
Let me follow that up with another quick thought then. And this is something Hiram and I talked about, is you have a process, a system you want to work, and this is what you're doing, and they're doing it. But also, do you fear losing the confidence of younger players throughout the course of the season if you're just not getting results?
Well, I think he has to realize at some point that Luton are very bad. Mm-hmm. Bournemouth are very bad.
Sheffield's very bad.
Sheffield is very bad.
dog shit.
Very bad. I think you're going to see, if this doesn't click in the next game or two, I think you're going to see a massive shift in Burnley's tactics.
Yeah.
And they're going to go more defensive. They're going to go more shut up shop and then hit on counter. They're going to start doing
17th place is what you start thinking.
exactly,
You gotta
because
imagine that.
you have to think that the manner in which you won the championship, you are better than these teams around you.
As you should be.
Period. So you're going to have to make a move, though, is what that means, is you're going to have to make a move.
Yeah, because I feel
And
like you could
Bournemouth
lose
are
those kids.
dog
You
shit.
could really lose those kids' confidence
Oh, yeah.
if you don't. If you kind of keep to the system and they kind of keep getting beat at that system.
You could ruin them.
Yeah. Keeping it rolling. City have a very quick start. Get them up 2-0 within 19 minutes, which we've been talking about since you've been away. It seems like the way you get Bournemouth is you come right out and you punch them right in the fucking nose. And they have a hard time with that. Saw that with the couple of losses they had this season. You saw that at the end of the season when they lost badly to Everton. It's just, if you come out and you punch them in the face, they don't know how to respond. But they came back and they had a fighter's chance. They really did play City hard. And Akanji grabbed a guy and pulled him down and got a second yellow card.
Well, James Milner didn't receive a yellow card, and he put in a tackle that I like to call the Ashley Young.
Yeah, well,
over on the side on Doku.
but Akanji.
Do you know what's funny is
Yeah.
Doku could have been James Milner's son. They were so far apart in age.
Jesus Christ.
Technically. Now, James
Sorry,
Milner would
Ross.
have been a very young dad. But, because I think Doku's 21.
Yeah,
James Milner's 38.
early 20s,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he could have been a 17-year-old father. We see that a lot
Yep.
in this country.
Sadly.
It's physically possible, and that's scary.
Very.
Sam we
So
found out last
weird.
week. Hiram's father's younger than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's younger than you, Sam.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Also,
But
black don't crack.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, numbers do.
but Akanji, Sam,
So he'll look like this till he's 70. Well done, but can't stop the number from moving.
Akanji, Sam, grabbed a guy and pulled him down while he was in an advanced position. He got a second yellow card for that.
Yeah, he did.
It's just a point I want to make. It's just a point I want to make.
I mean, Brighton just, it took them to the last 20 minutes to do what they normally do to teams. And really give a good account of themselves. But City never really looked like they had to get out of second gear.
No, they really
Brighton
didn't.
for the first 75 minutes just weren't at the races in this one, and City cruised. I think we're seeing them. We thought they were missing Rodri. They definitely were.
Oh God, yeah,
But
definitely.
They're this kind of double holding midfielder they're doing, or using Bernardo Silva as a pivot, is just not working. They need to get him up in the 10 slot or Phil Foden into the 10 slot and have one of the two of them playing a De Bruyne role, because this kind of mishmash of switching and rotating isn't fucking working.
No.
And Haaland is not going to drop deep like Aguero or like Kane and help create things. He's just not going to do it.
Haaland's going to stay
do
up.
it.
He's going to stay up high, and he's going to look for you to pass it into the lanes, and he's going to get himself in the box. He
did get himself a goal in this game, and well done to him. But
he's going to put himself in good positions.
that seems to be all he's good for.
That's all he offers.
Which is fine, but as long as you have the other players doing those jobs.
You
but like,
need-
what
you need
made
to run the
Tottenham
system
somewhat
to work for
successful?
what he's doing.
Right. What made Tottenham somewhat successful is Harry Kane played two positions.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true.
You know what I mean?
Particularly look at Wayne Rooney at the end of his career at Manchester United. He essentially was everywhere on the fucking pitch.
The modern center forward needs to be able to do more. Look at Jesus. The modern center forward needs to be able to do more than what Haaland does.
Right.
He's, a striker from 1976 that's playing in 2023.
He's literally just a goal scoring and physicality. That's it.
And that could prove to be one of the reasons, because of this De Bruyne injury, why City don't win the title this season.
Yeah, but if you play the right system,
they seem to be a one-trick pony.
But if you
which
play-
is crazy to say about a Pep Guardiola
it's
team.
true. Very true.
Without that master key of Kevin De Bruyne to unlock,
Right.
special abilities of everybody around him. Kevin De Bruyne is like a Game Shark cheat code.
I was going to say, here's Graham over here going De Bruyne, left, up, A, B.
So Hiram, Game Shark used to be this disc that you have, or like a memory card you used to put in your PlayStation back in the day. It wasn't just like a thing saved on your.
I know what a memory card is.
No. But it wasn't a memory card. It was a physical thing that you had to plug into the memory card slot to access the cheat codes.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, back in the day.
Damn.
Yep.
Keeping it rolling.
I'm so old.
Forrest was wondering. Yeah. Forrest was wondering who was going to get them goals with Antonio out and Awoni. Sorry, thank you.
Almany.
Yeah, Almany.
Apparently it's hurt again.
Yeah. Wood goes out there and gets two.
Should have had four.
But gets him the goals only to be outdone by a great late flurry by Luton.
What a strike that second Luton goal was as well, which cost me, by the way, $84.
Heard $84.
If Nottingham Forest had won that game, if they had held on, that was the only leg of like a 7-leg real money parlay I had. Oh, damn it! But the first half again. This is another tale of two halves, right? First half was dog shit. I almost fell asleep during those highlights. They were pitiful.
I still don't have much confidence in Luton at the end of the day, but I do think that there are two teams worse than them, definitely. I mean, we're going to come on to Sheffield in just a moment, but Bournemouth and Sheffield are just fucking awful. And for Luton, at least there's some fight.
Well, so
if they're going to go down, at least they're going to go down, because I think ultimately they just don't have the talent to be up there, but it feels like they'll at least put up a fight.
I was listening to somebody else today while I was working, and they're in a position right now where they basically can look at Burnley, and as long as they match Burnley results for the rest of the season, they're safe.
Yeah, that's all they got to do.
Because the other two, as you say, are dog shit. They ain't going to do it.
Yeah.
It ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
At least with this personnel or with these managers. Not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as they match Burnley results for the rest of the season, they're a point clear of them currently, and they will survive.
Will the Blades ever get a win? Because they actually came out swinging and they had opportunities, and they've done that a few times, and they can't fucking get a win.
They'll be lucky to get a win from Luton, and that's saying a lot.
Oh, yeah.
You were playing.
I can't think of an argument to say yes.
You think about it, at home, they played Everton, who hadn't gotten a win yet and were in really a bad way. And they could only manage a draw. I don't see where this team's going to get any fucking wins. They're really bad.
Yeah. Again, goals are going to be a massive problem, and defensively, they're not very good. As well. So, I mean, that's a horrible combination if you want to stay in the Premier League. So, I wonder what happened, because under Chris Wilder a couple seasons ago, weren't they bought up by a Saudi prince?
I thought so, yeah.
Where's the money?
Yeah. Where's the money? Why is there no?
It's at Newcastle.
The Piff Posse.
No, he's
gone somewhere else.
He's one of those Saudi princes from my old nightclub days. The one who come in and
black sheep?
No, they come in and go, "Do you know who I am?" Like, and
No.
don't really spend any money and expect everything for free.
So that's
The
what
ones
I'm
that say,
confused about.
"No, it is okay. It is okay. We are dancing. We are dancing."
Jesus
As they try
Christ.
to molest women.
Why is it?
Nightclub life.
Why is it
Suppressing.
that? I heard an interesting fact about Berlin sex clubs today. If you want to hear about that,
No, we're gonna keep it rolling. Save that for injury time.
God damn, I was about to come in. It's like, that's the kind of conversation for injury time. www.patreon.com/injury.com.
Got all that.
so where's the? What I want to know is where's the money? Why is there no investment in them?
I don't know.
It baffles. It boggles the mind.
Do we even care that Manchester United won this game?
For the reason that we're going to talk about in closing words, yes, because in honor of Sir Bobby Charlton, absolutely.
Okay, but yeah.
Because he was a proper football man, even though nobody in that current Manchester United setup, from the CEO down to the ball boys, none of them are.
Moving on, Spurs have a very clinical win over Fulham today. Great goal by Son. I mean, and he's back in form. He is really
He's firing.
back in form.
It's a shame.
Well, the children are happy.
No wonder Andres Gomez can't play, even though he's collecting a check. It's more like a disability check for anxiety and depression now, isn't it? Than it is his wages.
Yeah, but you wake up in the morning, you look at the mirror, and you go, "I'm this."
And I've got 70 grand.
Exactly. I just got 70 grand this week.
It's just, I mean, it's the only word I wrote down is I had to listen to this on the radio while I was taking my uncle to the train station. It was comfortable.
Yeah.
It was just comfortable. Fulham didn't really offer much, minus that ridiculous tackle Paulinho had in the first half. It was comfortable.
Yeah. Well,
Because whoever he hit, I think it may have been James Madison. He was very uncomfortable after that tackle.
And Madison's goal in the second was a beaut as well. Just a great back
There
and
was
forth.
a few. I mean, he's operating on a different level right now. Udogie had a in the first half, because I was home for about 10 minutes before I had to leave. I had it switched on television, and I don't know if you remember free kick very early in the game, and James Madison is right-footed. Udogie's the left back, was kind of behind him to the corner of the box, and so you could see him out of his peripheral, but not like he wasn't looking at him, and tried a no look from the free kick. And I don't think they drew it up on the training ground because Udogie had no fucking clue that ball was coming. The way he moved his body to try to receive it and the manner in which the ball hit him and bounced the fuck off like 30 yards, he had no clue that thing was coming. It was very funny. And James Madison looked at him like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "No, bro, what are you doing?"
Yeah. Like,
Nobody drew that up. We didn't talk about that previous to this.
you just need to be ready for it, bro. Come on, bro.
So I'm saying James Madison's operating up here.
Not hard.
Fireball.
Yeah.
Sure money.
I can't fucking beat it. That's it. We move on. I was going to make another point, but why?
As soon as you said bruh, it was like fireball. Fireball. By the way, drink it right. Pinky out.
Heard. All right, well, it's your fucking segment, so why don't you start fucking talking? Remember? You run this segment?
Oh, yeah. Sure money. This is where we make football bets to better inform you on your bets, and they always win. They don't. I lost. How'd you do, Sammy?
Mine hit, and I nailed it with my three-leg parlay, and I am now up $463.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
I love it when it's nice, even numbers. Sam, did you know that 37.5% of the time, it works 100% of the time, motherfucker?
Nice, big man. Nice.
Am I finally ahead of you, I think? I think I might be. Oh, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and do another three-legger because it worked so well for me last week. I'm going to take Newcastle, Villa, and Brighton to beat Wolves, Luton, and Fulham, respectively, for $229.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Nice. Good for you. Did you have any bets or no?
I don't do no bets.
You know, I don't do no bets.
Hiram, this is why I drive the bus, because when you give him a segment, this is what you get.
fucking radio
Honest
gold.
guess here.
Instead, we have our good friend Pat.
And now, it's time for our degenerate gambling friend Pat's Pick of the Week.
Fireball. What's up, buddy?
Hey. It's a lake.
I was gonna say, don't say words that hurt his feelings.
Oh yeah, I forgot. He used to deliver it.
Yeah.
Long
Yeah.
time ago.
A lot of it.
Long times ago's days.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Doing really well, man. How are you?
I am not as happy as I was about 2 hours ago when I talked to you.
Uh-oh, what happened? Briefly.
Fucking Purdy threw 2 interceptions in the second half. Just killed. Killed my weekend. Lost tonight, lost Sunday, and broke even on Saturday. You know what, man? Fuck the NFL, man. Fuck these refs. The NFL's so fucking boring, man. Like three points in the fourth quarter. That's it. That's what you can do for me on Monday Night Football. You fucking suck. Anyway.
Well, let's talk about the real football then.
I mean, well, hey, at least Texas is going to the World Series.
That makes Taylor happy.
Right. All right. So
yeah, well, it makes me happy too. I hate fucking Houston.
Agreed here.
Damn. Yeah, same. Actually, being back in this chair for the first time in 7 weeks, reminded me how much I hate Houston too.
He's talking about the city, Graham, not me.
Whoops.
Show title.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, remember his middle name is Dallas too.
I know
so.
it is, and his social is. It's like
I don't know. I don't really know how happy I can read this. Graham, can you pull the email up and just read it yourself?
Yeah, sure, I can do that. Jesus Christ!
I love it. Pat's
Not a
right.
problem.
Pat is right proper. This is delightful. Fantastic.
Got it.
Go for it.
In Pat's voice, though.
Which one? Check out sound check for the 3 versions. All right. I couldn't have been more wrong on my picks last Saturday going 0-2. Much like my Sunday when I put cash on every side that the Lions would blow out the Ravens. Welcome back, Graham, to the show. Congrats on the new entry of life into the world. May your nights be filled with more and more sleep as every day passes. Thanks, buddy. On to gambling. So this week, I will try my hand at a 4-game parlay. I'll take Chelsea over Brentford, Wolves over Newcastle, Villa over Lutron Town. Sounds like a really bad Decepticon. And Man City over Man United on a $75 bet that pays out 1,115 schmackaroos.
What is its magic power? Does it transform into a hat?
Yeah.
No, it's a dance. It's the Lutron dance.
It's called the Hatters. That's the joke.
That is pretty good.
You're welcome.
What's why
Which one? Hold on. Mine was pretty good too. Neutron dance, Lutron dance. Come on.
I don't know why I'm disrespecting my entire childhood, but I can't remember the leader of the Decepticons' name.
Optimus Prime, yeah.
No,
that's fucking Autobots.
Megatron.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Megatron wears the Wii hat as well of Lutron Town. So I'll place a smarter bet next week when Chelsea fucks me. You guys have a great weekend. If anyone is off Thursday and wants to take a trip out to Blue Ridge Shadows Golf Club, let me know. I have an opening for a 10:30 tee time. Car leaves Marriottsville at 7 and late lunch at Monk's Barbecue. So, Taylor, if you happen to be in town or fancy spending a bunch of money for no reason to go play golf with Pat, you're more than welcome to come up.
I mean, I'll go just for Monk's Barbecue. That shit's delicious.
Monk's Barbecue is fire.
I like golf.
Very good. All right, well, Pat.
That could be a show title, too. Fuck the NFL, comma, I like golf. That's pretty good. Jesus Christ. All right, buddy. Well, good luck that the baseball keeps going well.
Nothing is going well. No, it's fine.
All right, man. We'll holler at you next week. Thank you so much.
I just hung up on him.
All right. What do you got, Graham?
All right. So I lost because of Lutron Town. they transformed into a fucking world beater all of a sudden. Definitely not because of my Arsenal, because they played after Lutron Town.
Right.
Now I'm only up $553, still currently leading the pack this season. So I have a very responsible 4-leg parlay to play on this one. I've got Tottenham to beat Palace, should be fairly simple. A double chance, Chelsea, or a draw with Brentford. Arsenal to beat Sheffield United, and there to be 2.5 goals or more in that game. Sorry, over 2.5 goals. So that has to be 3 or more in that game. And that 4-leg parlay only pays me plus 202 on a $100 bet.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. So I tried to go kind of responsible, but still had to get some odds somewhere.
So, Graham, I'm not sure you're aware of this. You've been away for a little while, but we have a chicken.
So, Kitty is on a bit of a heater as her and Liverpool pick has her winning 3 in a row. So she is now at 5-3. So this week, I gave Kitty the Manchester Derby. Now, we already know Kitty's affinity for the brothers Gallagher. So this was an easy pick for Kitty, and she's taking City to win. I'm kind of surprised how short and easy that is, but please remember to gamble legally and responsibly.
Her ghostwriter might have known that this show was going to maybe run a little long, so maybe the ghostwriter wrote a very short segment.
Oh, look, Kitty also has in here, pour one out for my girl Rita, and that is it for the gambling segment.
That's right, pour one out for Rita.
As she was talking, I really was hoping that you went sideways and wrote the brothers Neville. And then put in for Mel to whisper the rest of the segment.
Very good.
Did not happen.
All right, that's going to wrap it up, boys and girls. Mr. Graham, I know there's a few parting words, so go for it.
Yeah, just a couple. I'm going to start lighthearted and heavy. So first and foremost, did you hear how Mikel Arteta answered the questions about why Ramsdale wasn't in the squad?
No.
He said to the press, he's missing out on the team this weekend for the most beautiful reason. And immediately, a lot of people, I saw comments online that were like, would he lose his virginity? For the most beautiful reason. Was he deflowered? What happened here? Which is funny. And
What's the answer?
his wife had a baby.
Oh.
Hey. Yeah. But it was
not
just
beautiful.
It's just a strange
If
way.
you've never seen childbirth, it is not pretty.
It's a strange fucking. It's bad, man. It's real bad. I'd be like the James Franco meme with the noose on the side of the boat first time. Now that I've done it 3. I've seen the insides through both directions. One through the stomach, one through the other side.
Yeah, just not fun.
It's bad. It's bad. Anyway, speaking of perverts. Fireball. Speaking of perverts and Fireball, actually, Tony Fernandez, you remember the owner of QPR? Mm-hmm. I thought this was quite funny. He took a Zoom meeting reportedly topless while receiving a massage with other leaders in his company as well as subordinates.
That was Sam Houston during injury time while you were gone.
Look, the muscles are tight. They need to be loosened up, man. It's just what it is.
I don't think he should be doing that.
Okay.
I think I find it wholly inappropriate, to be honest.
Yeah, Hiram wasn't enjoying giving it.
It was too many knots, man.
Yeah. When asked about it in an interview, he did say that he loves the culture of his company. He owns the company. He is HR, technically.
Other thing that's worth noting is Hiram's Touch, soft yet firm.
Careful, Lars. All right, on to the real parting words. The footballing world has lost another legend. Mm-hmm. Very sad, obviously. Sir Bobby Charlton has passed away Saturday morning prior to Manchester United's kickoff. He is arguably the greatest ever English footballer, period. He was one of the survivors of the Busby Babes that crashed in the Munich air disaster. It was actually quite sad. And in piecing his life back together, became one of the greatest footballers in the world. Became a World Cup champion, a Champions League, a European Cup at the time, obviously, champion. Won the Premier League, First Division a few times, and stayed in the game. And there was just a quiet dignity with which he lived his life. There were never any controversies. There were never any kind of off-field drama. There was never anything. If you, again, watch the Beckham documentary, when David Beckham signing for the club, Bobby Charlton was in the room. When Ronaldo signed for the club, Bobby Charlton was in the room. He ushered in the class of 92 just with an elderly statesman vibe about him. He was always poignant in his comments about the club, about the state of football, about a lot of different things. He was one of those people that transcended the sport as well. You know, when I've heard multiple stories recounted that when you would go abroad in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and somebody would ask you where you were from, and you said the UK, they'd go, "Oh, Bobby Charlton." You know, like that's what you're famous for. Like if you say you're from New York, you're like, "Oh, pizza." You know, whatever kind of thing. So this is very, very sad, obviously, and you know, on the level of when Pele died, on the level of all of these, you know, when Maradona died, on the level, this is one of the greatest European players that ever played the game and easily the best Englishman that has ever played the game.
I was going to say, minus the massive amounts of cocaine when you're talking about Maradona. And Maradona.
Yeah. But I'm just talking about the gravitas of their careers. Yeah.
Keith Richards went, man, Maradona did a lot of fucking cocaine.
Yeah. Bobby Charlton did not make sure that's on the record. But yeah, just a honest, good family man. He was diagnosed with dementia in 2020 and finally lost that battle on Saturday. So,
all right,
very, very sad, and God rest his soul.
Thank you for joining us, everybody. Next up is Injury Time, where we're going to talk about the beers we were drinking. We're going to talk a little bit about fantasy sports and, of course...
Fantasy sports or fantasy soccer?
Fantasy soccer. And
we're just going to go over Hiram's NFL team.
We're going to preview the weekend's action.
We're going to call Pat back. Let's see what his baseball's doing.
We're going to preview the weekend's action. And should somebody want to find Injury Time, Sam, how do they go about doing
Call Pat. It's patreon.com/D Football Show. And just sign up to that $5 tier. You get all the extra content, all the videos, all the everything. It's fun.
If you're watching live with us, stick around. We're going to be doing the EFL show next, where we chat a little bit about the rest of professional football in England. And that show gets released on Thursday for any of those of you who are checking out the show for the first time. And outside of that, everybody, if you want to help the show in another way, DU Drip Shack, all the flyest gear. And we'll talk to you all next week.
Big B says fireball.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Huston.
Sam Huston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stuff of Malort. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Drunkard United! Drunkard United! Hit the fucking mute button!